Gentlemen, welcome back to the Tiege Hanley Starting a Business, Building a Brand vlog. This one, big number 46. And I would encourage everyone to buckle up because we've got a little field trip we're going on. How was that for the cheesiest start of one of, actually, that's a pretty tall statement. They're all pretty cheesy. Anyway, big day ahead of us. I am actually headed to the lab. I got the word that 2 of our products, the eye cream and the anti-aging serum, are ready for me to come and test to make sure that the batch is a-okay. So something that I'm not sure if you guys picked up on last week or last vlog or not. Notification, I gotta be at the lab. But I was sort of feeling a little bit anxiety laden and just, I was frustrated because, you know, I hadn't had a meeting with Rob and Kelly. We finally then last week had our first meeting and we've been talking and touching base ever since. But I hadn't felt right. And, you know, one of the issues that we're having is trying to get a handle on this whole subscription model. What it looks like. We have the cancel function, we've got the pause function, and we've also got the active subscribers. And as you would probably guess, we want lots of active subscribers. But there's these other 2 numbers, the cancellations, meaning dudes that'll never come back or that aren't coming back or decided, hey, we don't like your products, and they decided to cancel or whatever reason. They're moving. I don't care what the reason. Then you've got this other camp of people that pause the subscription. And so that number has been growing. And it's really tough because, you know, as a company, we have certain expectations. We set, you know, like, okay, we need X number of new subscribers every day, every week, every month in order to, you know, hit our targets and our goals. Now, when we started, the only thing that we were really focused on and looking at was that number of active subscribers, because in the early days, the early stages, you know, people were just adding like crazy. And, you know, as the boxes are rolling out and people are having renewals, of course, the pauses and the cancels are going to increase. But we have no way of knowing what average is or what should be or could be, or so it was starting to get a little bit frustrating because my job and my role for the most part is marketing and selling, you know, boxes of Tiege Hanley and talking about it and getting people excited and getting them to try it. And when I see that number of active subscribers is not increasing the way that I think it should or that we sort of plan for it, and the number of people that are pausing their subscription is becoming larger, all of a sudden I start like freaking out. I'm like, what's going on? You know, do they not like it? Da, 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 da. And so I'm like super bummed out for like a week now. And so we have a meeting and we start diving into the numbers, and Rob decides to create an email. Well, let's not just guess why people are pausing and what this means. Let's actually ask people. And so that's kind of the first business lesson of the day. If you've got something that doesn't seem right or that you're not happy with, you've always got to go back to the people that are the reason you're going to be successful or fail, the customers. And so Rob put together this really great email that we were able to send out to just the people that have paused their Tiege Hanley subscription to ask them, hey, why are you paused? Do you have any anticipation of ever coming back, or, you know, what's the deal? And so we got some incredible information. Ultimately, what we found out is people were just not using it as fast as we were recommending them use it, which makes total sense. Because we are trying to time this, and because Tiege Hanley, the box system, and the portions and the directions all stem and revolve around a system and letting people know how to use it, people's usage patterns are going to vary. And so even though we have done the best jobs we can planning sort of what the usage should be and what the sizes are and how much people should be using, at the end of the day, there are people that are going to dictate how often, how fast that they actually go through the products. And so that was actually good news. It was like, okay, it's not that you just don't ever want Tiege Hanley again, it's because you don't need it right now, and so you're pausing. Which brings up a whole nother host of issues in terms of our website, and something that we're actively working on right now. We are super not happy with the back end or the customer experience in your dashboard. It's okay, still working. So when somebody logs in, they go to their dashboard, we're not happy with the way that looks, the way that it functions. The other thing we're not happy with is currently the pause functionality is not as intuitive as it should be. The way that the pause function now works, if somebody pauses it and your renewal date is X date, say you unpause it sort of a week past when your subscriptions should have renewed, it takes 3 weeks or until that date hits again the following month before it actually sends you the box. And that just makes absolutely no sense. What should happen is if somebody pauses it, you unpause it, it should automatically send you a new box, or at least ask you, hey, you're unpausing your subscription. Do you want a box now, or do you want to change your date? Bringing us to another point is the choosing your own date. Right now, it's not customizable enough, and so we are actively working on creating a system that allows you to choose exactly the date when you want your next box, or in what specific interval you want your next box. Right now, it's still a little bit clunky. It's not working as well as it should, and so it's a little bit confusing. It's not intuitive when you log in and you go to your dashboard, and so there's another issue. So we're working on all the functionality of the back end of the website to make it a better experience and to make it more intuitive. Corin is still involved. We're having some design work done so that it looks sexy, but at the end of the day, that does cost money. And so, it's not necessarily money that we budgeted for, but we're doing well. In terms of our balance sheet, things are good. We don't have zillions of dollars in the bank, but we've got all our bills paid. We've got this next big monster order sort of in the process. Like I said, I'm headed there right now to approve the 2 of the products. All of the packaging, I think, is at this point on its way here. So the other great news, and something that I've been super stressed out about over the course of the past 3 months, honestly, was running out of products before we got this next box. And so the one thing that I could not have happen, or any of us could not have happen, or you could not have happen if you've got this type of subscription type service, is get somebody on it, get them loving your product, get them working it and using it, and then telling them, oh, we're out, you've got to wait. That, in my mind, was absolutely not an option. And I know Rob and Kelly are on the same page. This is one of the reasons why we actually decided to air freight the packages so it got here sooner, so that we could actually chop off a few weeks from our delivery and when we would get this new big shipment. So the good news is that we're not going to run out of products, which is actually huge news, because that would have been kind of disastrous. Because as a business, you start building up all this momentum, and you're moving in the right direction, and your trajectory is full steam ahead. And for something to throw a wrench in a cog and to slow was just something that would have been heartbreaking and not necessarily devastating. We would have rebounded, but it's not happening. So I'm super excited, and I know that the boys are as well. Another thing that we've got going on is we have just, as a company, agreed to spend a bunch of money and order another round of packaging. And the reason why this is important is I've sort of touched on it a few vlogs ago, is that coming up is the Chinese New Year, and things tend to slow down. And so in a month or 2 months, if we decided, hey, we need to place another order, we wouldn't be able to get it for like months and months down the road, because everything is sort of grinding to a halt. And we're talking about, obviously, the manufacturing of our packages. And so we made the executive decision, all of us collectively, that see, I'm late to the meeting, is that we need to absolutely place another order. And so we did. We actually placed another order for packaging before we had all of the packaging here, just to make sure that we've got the packages ready to be filled when the time comes, if it comes sooner rather than later. And this is another sort of business lesson or takeaway, is that sometimes if you do have this long lead time, buying packaging and sort of just warehousing it or storing it is sometimes an option, and a great option. For us, it was the only option. Now comes the issue of, okay, well, where are we going to store thousands and thousands of empty units of Tiege Hanley packages? And we're sort of working through that right now, but we've got a few months before that actually arrives, so we should be okay. So all things considered, things are still good, really good. We're selling lots of boxes, and you know what, the big lesson for me personally, and this is something that I've never dealt with before, is that I'm having to change my perception of what success looks like for Tiege Hanley. You know, like I said, when we started, it was all about those active subscribers. And when people were just subscribing, that's great. But now that people are pausing and canceling, it's got to change. And so I think what we need to do, and I talked to Rob actually today about it, is we need to start looking more at units out the door as opposed to actives. Now, active subscribers are a part of it, but the people coming off of pause and getting boxes, that's another thing. So as long as, you know, everything is sort of moving and our box number that are going out the door is growing, I think we're in great shape. But it isn't as black and white or cut and dry as I originally thought, or I think as Rob and Kelly originally thought it as well. And so it's a learning curve, like I said. This business has been incredible, but it's also been a learning experience. A lot of the things and the challenges that I'm experiencing, I'd never experienced with Pete and Pedro, or, you know, and now of course I've got issues with manufacturers and getting product when I should and all that, but there are so many different pieces of so many different puzzles that come together for Tiege Hanley, and this is a different business model than Pete and Pedro is, and so it's a learning experience, but it's been incredible. Last week I was a little bitchy. I was definitely a little bitchy, but things are good, things are moving in the right direction, and it turns out I am pulling in to the lab right now. So why don't we wrap this up by us going inside and testing out the new batch. Peter, good to see you, brother.
Hey, Aaron, how you doing?
Good. All right, you got the samples for us?
Yes.
All right.
There's your form to sign. And here's the cream.
We don't have the serum? All right, guys, so he lied. We only have the eye cream for me to actually test today.
I didn't lie.
And so basically the way that it works is I get the sample and I have a sign-off sheet. This smells like nothing, which is perfect.
Shouldn't, no fragrance.
And then you basically just, oh, that feels good.
Yeah.
It's really good. That's a nice product. Tell them how good this product is.
Oh, the product has everything you need, you know. I mean, it is made actually for your sensitive skin under your eye. So, you know, the face has different zones of skin, basically,
Yeah.
you know, different zones of areas. So, for example, your forehead has a total different skin layer than under the eye. And as you can just touch your forehead and you touch your eye or under the eye, you feel how sensitive your skin is. And that is, of course, made in a way so it is penetrating and working quicker, and of course, you know, prevent that you
so
lose
as far
under
as
your skin.
And collagen, as we know, is incredibly important for fine lines, wrinkles, and your skin to maintain the elasticity. So on a scale of 1 to 10, quality wise, what is our Tiege Hanley products? And I didn't even set them up for this. What are they?
I mean, Tiege Hanley is a very, very expensive formula. I mean, what goes in there and the way how it is done. A cream is made in several phases, you know, and that is all the way up to 8 phases. You know,
yeah, but on a scale of level 1 to 10, where are we?
It is 10, no doubt.
10, baby.
No doubt.
And you've seen our prices, ridiculous, right?
No, it's ridiculous low. I mean, other companies would charge at least double what you do.
Yeah.
At least. I mean, it is amazing, you know, that you are so fair to your customers, that you give them actually the ability to get a product in their hand for that kind of money. I mean, it is.
And that was the whole goal, guys. That was the whole goal of Tiege Hanley, was to actually produce products and cut out a lot of the fat margins that all these other skincare companies do. And now,
but you have to say the other skincare company need those fat margins. Think about the advertising. Think about the models. Think about all that money that they spend.
I'm the model for Tiege Hanley.
There you go. all the money they spend, you know, that has to come from somewhere. You know, and that's where it is. But from a scale, as you said, from 1 till 10, this is definitely a 10. Actually, a lot of our employees use that cream.
Really?
I mean, I'm not kidding.
How many different companies do you actually?
Oh, we make, I mean, I cannot name them all, but of course, you know.
100?
Yeah, but you know, we make very famous company actually, and you know, I cannot name them here,
Yeah.
but their cream
I know
is
some of the companies.
close or not even close to that what we have in here, because Aaron from the beginning was telling us, I want quality, I want easy use, and that's exactly what we did, you know. And with his chemist, he was right on it.
This was not set up, gentlemen. You're seeing
His
Peter.
chemist gave us a perfect formula. This formula we just had to translate into our equipment, and which we have really good equipment to make the cream. And everything is enclosed. You know, there is no open vessels. Everything is closed. And that's what came out of it. You know, and it is a perfect formula.
Product, gentlemen. This is incredible.
Absolutely.
Peter, where's a pen? I'm ready to get out of your hair.
Hold on, I get you the pen.
I was at a little impromptu little lesson on Tiege Hanley and the quality from Peter. Peter's the owner here at the lab that we have this made, and like you said, they make products for super famous products that you guys all would know, but just legal reasons, that is not. Which one am I doing here? This one?
Yep, approve. You know, you make the thing approved.
Okay.
And then you sign it, date it. I have a signature from a famous guy.
What's the date?
29th, yeah.
29th. Famous, infamous. All right, sir. Thank you. Get out of your hair.
You're very welcome.
Gentlemen, see you next week.